Before we jump in today's video, I just want to remind everybody that I'm not a financial advisor. So this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only and should not be taken as financial, investment, or trading advice. All investments involve risk, and you should do your own research or consult with a licensed financial professional before making any investment decisions. Just remember, past performance is not indicative of future results. Hey everyone, it's Paul here on my channel, Better Call Paul. And today, if you want to find out how I'm contributing to my tax-free savings account while being semi-retired and not using income from a job, stay tuned. All right, guys, we're going to jump right into it. I have just over $14,000 of room in my tax-free savings account, probably a little bit more, but according to the CRA at this moment, it's 14,000. And be careful with the number they give you because sometimes they don't get all the information from your broker. So when you withdraw money, like I did last year, I took out at least $7,000 from my TFSA. They add back that room in January. So I have my $7,000 that the government is allowing us to contribute to your TFSA. Plus, I have the $7,000 that I withdrew from my RBC tax-free savings account. But I also took a little bit of money out of my Wealthsimple tax-free savings account as well. But anyways, for right now, I'm going to keep it at $14,000 because I don't want to risk going over. And I'll reassess it in a few months once CRA has received all the tax slips from my brokerages. So like I was saying, how am I going to contribute to my TFSA without actually getting a paycheck and putting the money in from there? So how can I magically make this money appear? Well, there's nothing really magical about it. I have a non-registered account with a little over $22,000 or $23,000 in it. Now, I could take 14 and just move it right over, but I kind of wanted to do it in a bit of a strategic fashion and try not to trigger any capital gains that I would have to pay taxes on. So I'm going to jump into my stock events so that you guys can see what positions I hold in my non-registered account, which ones I'm going to move to my TFSA, and then how I'm going to contribute on a monthly basis. All right, so here we are in my stock events. And you can see right here, I have 4 positions. I have CNYE from Harvest, which is their Coinbase ETF. I have MSTE from Harvest. It's their strategy ETF. And I have PLTE from Harvest as well, their Palantir ETF. But I also hold YTSL from Tesla. Now, both CNYE and MSTE are down quite a bit. But in this situation, this is not necessarily a bad thing because when I move these 2 positions over to my TFSA, I'm not going to trigger a capital gain. I won't be able to write them off as a capital loss, but I won't be triggering any capital gains. Now with PLTE, I do have a bit of a capital gain on this one. I think it's a few $100s, so it's not too bad. And I'll just have to bite the bullet on that one. So what I've done is I've gone and transferred in kind all 3 of these positions. You can see CNYE, I currently have, where does it show here? Oh, here we go on the right. Okay, so I have 400 shares of PLTE that I transferred over to my TFSA. So the good thing is now I'll be earning that monthly income and I won't have to pay any tax on it. If we go back, MSTE, I have 150 shares. And this one is also in the red. So the nice thing about it, I think, is that I'm transferring these positions over. And as the market recovers, and when I say market, I mean Bitcoin and MSTR and cryptocurrency in general, as that market recovers or rebounds, then these 2 will grow as well, which will increase the size of my TFSA. PLTE has done really well. So I did decide to transfer this one over as well. And I've kept YTSL in my account, and I'll let you know in a second why I did that. So if we jump into my Wealthsimple account, if you look in your TFSA, down here on the bottom right, you can see your contributions since January 1st of 2026 up until December 31st of 2026. So I transferred over $9,234, which will bring me about I think it's 300, maybe around $300 a month in income. Now that's depending on whether or not any one of the three ETFs that I transferred over increases or decreases their distributions or their monthly dividends. So that could change, but just to give you a ballpark figure of where that's at. Now, if we go into my non-registered account, okay, you can see that now my only position remaining is YTSL. And I hold YTSL in two accounts, but we're looking at my non-registered position where my average cost is $15.49. So I'm currently up 62, almost 63%. So I didn't want to transfer this over and trigger a capital gain, a large capital gain. So I'm keeping this in my non-registered account. And as long as YTSL doesn't change their dividend, which they haven't in quite some time now, I'm going to continue earning $300 a month. So what I plan on doing is just taking that $300 a month that I was withdrawing this year. In 2025, I withdrew all the money. But now I'm going to take that $300 a month and I'm going to transfer it over to my TFSA. So I'm going to continue to keep adding to my TFSA, but without having to add additional funds into my portfolio. So you can see here that as of right now, it shows that I'm making $590 a month. But if we go just into YTSL, let's see if we can find it down here. I usually do this on my phone, so I'm not as comfortable doing this on the laptop. But YTSL pays 60 cents a month, I believe. So that's going to bring in the $300 that I was telling you about. And if you go back to dividends, that just brings you over here. Yeah, I really don't like the desktop version of stock events. I find it much easier to use on my computer. But anyways, if I go in and I remove these three positions, it will leave me showing you just what I'm making from YTSL. So, okay, guys, so that's just a brief explanation of how I'm going to transfer money into my tax-free savings account without actually having to contribute to my portfolio. Now, some people might wonder, as I did in years past when I watched some other YouTubers talk about putting money in their accounts and withdrawing it. And, I thought, like, you're just messing with your TFSA. Why are you doing that? So I want to put as much money as I can in my TFSA in order to increase the amount of income that I make from my tax-free savings account. Now I'm plan on pulling a couple $1,000s a month out of my tax-free savings account to live on. Now, it seems almost counterproductive, but you have to remember, if I pull $2,000 a month out of my tax-free savings account, so that's $24,000, in 2027, I'll be able to put back that $24,000, right? So I might not have that much money to contribute back, but somewhere down the road, maybe if I sell my home and, get some equity out of my house or something else happens, maybe I get gifted a large sum of money or whatever the case may be. I feel as though I will need that extra room, once an influx of cash comes my way, and then I'll be able to drop it all into my TFSA and start earning more money without having to pay taxes. So this is kind of like a long-term plan. Now that I only have YTSL in my TFSA, 2027, I'll have to reevaluate and see what exactly I'm going to do then. But anyways, guys, I'm not an accountant. This is not any kind of tax advice. I'm just sharing with you guys what I'm doing to keep living sort of like a semi-retired life at 52 years old. So I hope everybody enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below just to let YouTube know that you are engaged and they can share it with more people. All right, guys. So enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll talk to you later. Bye for now.